On page 61 of Men as Symbols, Jung says that an archetype or archetypal motif or image, like a hero myth, originated in a period when man did not yet know that he possessed a hero myth. In an age, that is to say, when he did not yet consciously reflect on what he was saying. The hero figure is an archetype which has existed since time immemorial, before man was self-reflective. He just carried it out naturally because our archetypes are the framework of our being. Now, I suggest that the archetype of evil also comes to us from time immemorial, despite our post-Enlightenment minds, and continues to exist in our collective unconscious, even though we know, there aren't any devils or ghosts or whatever. No, it's in our unconscious. It continues to exist in the collective unconscious, there to be constellated by the present time and place. Archetypes are the core of any complex and the core of symbols. And as such, symbols can exert a possession over consciousness, which is not real, but it's entirely real. In addition, symbols don't have a universal impact. Again, like what Jung was saying about the cross, because they're representative of a particular country, culture, religion, or spirituality. And they can vary in impact between individuals depending on their particular psychic equation. As I said earlier, one person's symbol can be another person's sign, the latter meaning an image that points to something fully known, fully conscious. Starting with the 15th century Spanish Inquisition, wherein women were thought to be witches causing evil to men by seducing them or casting spells on them through their closeness to nature. And it is said that over the centuries, you know how the number 6 million is the number we associate with the Holocaust, that 6 million Jews were dead. It is said that 6 million women were burned over the century where they were considered to be witches. And that's just an example of it. I like this one. In the New Testament, Mark 5, verse 1 to 20, Jesus comes across a man on the road who is full of unclean spirits, a madness, possession by devils, or in modern day parlance, mental illness. And Jesus drew the unclean spirits out of this man. And then it says, and the unclean spirits are devils. And then it says, and all the devils that Jesus had withdrawn out of the man besought Jesus, saying, send us into the swine that we might enter into them. And Jesus gave them leave. I didn't realize that the devils asked Jesus to put them in the swine. I just thought there was this handy nearby herd of swine, and that's where Jesus cast them. But I would suggest that Jesus, in this event, plays the role of projection of shadow. He removes it from the person and throws it into 2,000 innocent pigs. I call them innocent. But to me, it's just bringing home what happens. 2,000 innocent pigs who went crazy and violently ran themselves off a cliff to their death in the waters below. Now, to me, that's a personification of what we're talking about, where we take our darkness and we put it onto somebody else, somebody who's innocent, and we punish them for that. We can't bear seeing our darkness, so it must be theirs.
But it really gets into them. I would like to just dwell on this for a moment, Mary, because Jesus doesn't punish the pigs. The pigs go mad. They take in the projection, and that's the other side. If evil is projected onto you, and this happens in families all the time, the scapegoat does become the misbehaving kid.
Yeah.
It's like it's accepted. It's projective identification. You receive the projection, and it affects your psyche and your identity.
Your sense of self, absolutely, and you live up to it or down to it, don't you? Now, this is the Berlin Wall being taken down. The wall itself, the symbol of the wall, it symbolizes splitting off of shadow, as does the scapegoat. Rather than making it conscious, thereby integrating it and taking more responsibility for your shadow, the wall splits it off. Like Trump's wall across the border of Mexico, and Trump said, and he's going to make the Mexicans pay for it. That was glorious. Like the Berlin Wall, I mean, did you witness the Berlin Wall coming down? The joy that happened that day? That Berlin Wall festered and caused such suffering especially between East and West Germany. When it came down, so the joy was a reflection of the size of the suffering. Like the wall around Jewish ghettos, like the wall Hungary wants to build to keep out Syrian refugees, like the wall that is around the paradisial image of the Garden of Eden. Now, the Great Wall of China was built for protection from their real marauding enemies. But the wall, when it's a result of projection, it's not real, it's projected, is a symbol of splitting off, of dissociation, which in turn can create evil, either to yourself or to others, or both.